Hi, my name is Mike Posner, and I was born on the 12th of February, 1988 in Detroit, Michigan. I cried. When I was first born, I had really dry and rough skin, so my big sister, who was 6 years older, called me Lizard Boy. When I was young, my best friends were Nick, Ben, and Josh. We loved sports, and we used to pretend we were on the Detroit Red Wings. When we were in second grade, Nick, Ben, and Josh all moved and went to a different school. I cried again. When I was 10, we all tried freestyle rapping. My friends never did it again after that night, but I fell in love with rapping, and I never really stopped. By the time I was 13, I was making beats on my mom's computer. I taught myself piano because it helped me make beats better. When I got to high school, I was on the JV basketball team, but the coach almost never put me in the game because I was really short. One day I asked the coach why he never put me in, and he told me it was because I wasn't good enough. I tried with all of my might not to, but guess what? I cried. But being short wasn't my only problem. I was also struggling with depression. A lot of people don't know what depression is or understand how serious of a mental illness it is, but every day seemed awful to me. I remember thinking that school didn't matter, my friends didn't matter, my teachers, my parents, they didn't matter, and most of all, I felt like I didn't matter. I didn't see the point in life. I put most of this hurt into my raps. I battled all the other rappers in the area, and I never lost. When I was a senior in high school, I bought a microphone and recorded an album. I sold it out of the trunk of my car, and I made $1,700. I got a job at the rap radio station in downtown Detroit as an intern. There I met a rapper who, even though he wasn't signed yet, was dressed like he was a millionaire. His name was Big Sean, or Sean the Don. He hadn't really decided yet. He heard I was a dope producer, and so he came to my parents' house and listened to my beats. I started making beats for him, and we became best friends. And soon, he jumped me into his crew, finally famous. I owe pretty much everything I have to Sean. He changed my life by showing me that my dreams weren't as far as I thought they were. He inspired me to aim high and believe in myself. Now my goal is to do the same for all of my listeners and my fans. Then I left Detroit to go to college at Duke University. When I was gone, Sean started making most of his music with my other friends' Right Tracks instead of me. Then Sean got signed by Kanye West. And that wasn't the only thing. Kanye also wanted to sign Right Tracks as producers. While I was happy for my friends, I was also really jealous of Right Tracks. I felt like if I had stayed in Detroit and not gone to Duke, then I would have been the one getting signed. Either way, I wasn't. This time I was too depressed to cry. I started working even harder on my music. Every single day, I would make beats in my dorm room for Sean and then email them to him. Of the hundreds I would make, he would use maybe one or two every year. So I went to New York City to try to sell my beats to record labels. They all said no. Finally, I decided to use my beats myself. But instead of rapping, I thought it would be cool if I sang my rap lyrics. A few weeks later, I recorded a song in my dorm room called Cooler Than Me. I was 20 years old. Cooler Than Me started to spread by itself on the internet and eventually became a big hit song around the world. I signed a record deal with RCA Records, and it seemed like everyone wanted to be my friend. I always thought that once I got a record deal, I would be happy, but I sure wasn't. I was still fighting my depression, and the world felt too big, too scary. And I wasn't comfortable with everyone liking me so much. I wasn't really sure what to do with myself, so I started writing and producing songs for other singers, like Boyfriend for Justin Bieber and Beneath You're Beautiful for Labyrinth and Emily Sandé. I decided to quit being an artist. I felt like I just wasn't meant to be in the spotlight, and I was gonna focus on writing and producing for other people. But then one day, 1 year and 6 months ago, my life changed. I was on an airplane and the stewardess was serving sandwiches. She gave me one, and as I bit into this disgusting airline concoction, I realized what my life's calling was. For now on, for every album I sell, I will serve a meal to a hungry American child. 1 for 1. When this idea came through me on the airplane, guess what? I cried. But this time tears of joy. Since this day, my life has completely turned around. I started meditating, which has pretty much cured my depression. A lot of the artists that I wrote and produced songs for have returned the favor and helped me with my upcoming album. It's called Pages because I write all my songs, my ideas, my poems, and my dreams in my notebook. And if you decide to buy it, you'll serve a meal to a hungry kid in Detroit or New York City. Thank you so much for listening to my story. And remember, it's okay to cry sometimes.